は神を恐れるのである。恐怖こそが神なのだ。だが相手が悪い。3000万ボルト火を貴様もか正解の剣。やらなきゃやられんだろうかよ。我が神なり。
Yo, what's up guys, it's Sophie from MasterBok Show and I hope you're having an amazing day. Now it's time for my favorite spellcaster to take the stage and one of the most powerful casters in the game. If you're into utilizing the power of thunder, able to control the battlefield with the power of frost, dishing out disgusting AOEs and able to fly through the battlefield, crushing your opponent with lightning damage until they become a pile of nothingness. If you're into becoming one of the most dominant spellcasters in the game, this is I feel the build for you. I'm talking about the Tempest Cleric and my version of the StormBringer. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, here we are now guys in the character creation screen. This is where we will be building the foundations of our StormBringer. So now we're gonna be selecting from two races that are most interesting for the class. I'm talking about the half-elf and the dragonborn. If ever you're gonna be going for the dragonborn route, you're gonna be getting race features such as base racial speed, but the most interesting about the dragonborn is that you can actually select what color or what element you specialize in to get additional perk. I suggest you selecting the blue dragon because you're actually going to be getting lightning breath as well as dragonic ancestry for resistance against lightning damage. But for me, I highly recommend going for the half elf because you're actually going to be getting civil militia, which gives weapon proficiency for spear, pikes, halberds, and glaives, as well as armor proficiency in light armor and shields, as well as dark vision and a really nice advantage for saving throws against charmed and sleep. If ever you're going to be selecting the half elf, I highly recommend you getting the sub race of high half elf. It gives you the ability to get a cantrip of your choosing, and I suggest that you actually get the shocking grasp cantrip. And after that, we are now going to be moving into selecting our class. We're going to be starting off as a cleric. The cleric is actually the foundation class that we will be building our StormBringer on. And we are now going to be selecting cantrips, so I suggest you getting Guidance, which is one of the most powerful cantrips in the game. After selecting our cantrips, we are now moving into our subclass, which is the Tempest Domain. The Tempest Domain is where our thunder damage or thunder focus skills are going to be coming from, because we will be getting the Wrath of the Storm subclass feature, which gives you a really good reaction throw. Whenever you get attacked by opponents, you can actually use Wrath of the Storm to deal damage to them. If you're going to be selecting a deity, I suggest you just get whatever you like. For the background, we're now going to be selecting from two that are interesting for our class, which is the Acolyte and the Folk Hero. If ever you're going for Acolyte, you're going to be getting skills in Insight and Religion, as well as a +5 roll in Wisdom checks. And if ever you're going to be going for the Folk Hero, you're going to be getting Animal Handling and Survival skill, as well as 5 Wisdom checks. We're now just going to be jumping into ability points. I suggest taking out all of the Strength, as well as Charisma and Intelligence, because we are not actually going to be needing those. Moving more into Wisdom, Constitution, and Dexterity. For the prepared spells, I highly recommend you giving a slot to create or destroy water. This is actually the foundation in the earlier levels, which where gonna be dishing out a lot of AOE damage using our lightning spells. After you get the create or destroy water, it is your own preference what other spell that you want to put in. So after character creation, we're now moving into level 2. This is where we will be setting up the foundations of our Stormbringer. We're actually going to be unlocking a really important subclass feature for the Cleric, which is the Destructive Wrath. Destructive Wrath is really good because when you roll thunder or lightning damage, you can actually channel divinity to deal maximum amount of damage instead. Doesn't have any charges, so meaning whenever you cast a spell of thunder or lightning, this is going to be proccing a lot of times. And now we just hit level 3. We're now unlocking a new set of skills as well as class features for your level 1 spell and level 2 spell slots. You're also going to be unlocking amazing spells, which are the Shatter. This is actually going to be your bread and butter on your lower levels. And now we're moving into level 4. We're actually going to be getting additional cantrips. So again, ethereal cantrips is depending on your preference. I highly advise you just stick with Blade Ward, and the most important thing is you get the feat, because we're actually going to be pumping some points in wisdom and dexterity, making them a well-rounded dexterity, constitution, and wisdom 16, 16, and 18 respectively. Now for level 5, this is where our Stormbringer is actually shaping up to be a really powerful spellcaster. We're actually going to be getting 2 spells that are really important for this build, which is the Sleet Storm as well as Call Lightning. Sleet Storm is actually a really good AOE spell that freezes the surfaces and makes enemies prone, which is really nice if ever you're going to be attacking them, because you have advantage in attack rolls whenever an enemy is prone, as well as Call Lightning. This spell is actually your bread and butter, and you're going to be using this a lot. This is going to be the spell that's going to be obliterating your opponents to dust. Now it's time for level 6. Level 6 is the level for the Stormbringer, where it dishes out crazy amount of damage. This is actually the level where we unlock our subclass feature, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is a really amazing skill. Whenever you deal lightning or thunder damage, your enemies are gonna be pushed 3 meters away from you, meaning that whenever somebody tries to attack you in a electrocuted area, they're just gonna be pushed around. It's gonna be making them really hard to touch our Stormbringer. Finally, at level 7, this is where our Stormbringer is born. We are actually going to be doing something really interesting in introducing another class to the mix, which is the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer is actually pretty powerful because we are actually selecting a new subclass, which is the Storm Sorcery, which gives us Tempestuous Magic that gives us flight whenever we try to use a lightning spell. And what's really cool about this is whenever we use a lightning spell or a thunder spell, we can actually fly. You can't be hit by any opportunity attack. Now I'm going to be running down the itemization setup for this build, which are 4 items, starting off from the Jolty Vest. The Jolty Vest is really interesting because it gives you the passive Counter Shock. So Counter Shock, whenever the wearer takes damage, having lightning charges, the attacker must succeed dexterity saving throws or they become shocked. In order to get the Jolty Vest, you just need to buy it from Brem from the Zentharim hideout after completing the Finding the Missing Shipment side quest. Next up is the Sparkle Hands. We actually have 2 passives that we're going to be getting from this item. One is the Conductive Strike, which is really nice for the monks, but the only thing that we need for this item is the Effective Transmitter. Basically, whenever some armored enemies attacks you, normally you're going to be getting advantages, and this is going to be going in synergy with our counter shock. Automatically electrocutes the enemy upon failing a dexterity saving throw. In order to get the sparkle hands, you just need to loot it from a chest. There's actually a pretty easy fight that you need to do before going to the chest. It's actually located in an isolated island. You just need to jump through the waters and then you're actually good. Next up is the Sparks Wall. This is actually the most important item of the 4. This basically gives you immunity against being electrocuted whenever you walk in an electrocuted area, and also gives you lightning damage resistance. The Sparks Wall is actually located in a chest on the basement of the Arcane Tower. Whenever you have the chance to go to the Underdark, if you drop by the Arcane Tower, it's actually located in the basement. You just need to follow or finish the quest line there and loot the Sparks Wall. Finally, the last and certainly not the least, the Sparks Water. So Sparks Water is really nice. If ever you're going to be walking through water surfaces, you're going to be automatically setting those into an electrocuted area. So you just need to move into water and then it's just going to be electrocuted. With these 4 items, you're finally going to be one of the most destructive AOE damage dealers in the game, the StormBringer. Alright guys, I'm now going to be showing you a actual gameplay on how the StormBringer works. So I advise whenever you start a turn, you actually create water. That's going to be making wet surfaces for us and going to be giving and dishing out electrocution on the enemy whenever we try to start dishing out our thunder damage. So we're just going to be starting with Call of Water. So, but if ever you guys have the chance to sneak on your opponent and just start with Call of Water to make water surfaces, that'll be great. But if not, advise that you actually start using Call of Water. So after that, we actually made a Call of Water and we are now using the Paladin to dish out some damage to the Ogre. And then Divine Smite, and we're gonna be attacking it again. And the Ogre just got deleted. Fast forward a little bit in the battlefield. We're actually gonna be giving a chance with our StormBringer, and she will now try to dish out disgusting AOE damage to the opponent. We now have Shadowheart, and this is actually the time that we're going to be using Call of Thunder. So this is the primary source of our damage for our StormBringer. We're going to be using Call of Thunder, and we're going to be proccing Destructive Wrath to decimate our opponents and give out maximum amount of AoE damage to them. We can actually heal a person or do whatever we want after a turn, and then we end our turn. And again, and finally guys, I'm going to be showing you how disgustingly far the Call of Lightning spell can be, and it's actually very far. We can actually dish out a lot of lightning damage to the opponent at a very far range. So you see here, I'm targeting these archers in the back line to obliterate one of them. And that's it. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the build. It is one of the most dominant spellcasters in the game and can dish out disgusting AoE damage to your opponent in a single turn. I really appreciate all of the people who watched the previous videos and the previous builds. Thanks again, and if ever you can, please comment down below if you like this sort of video, or just give it a like. I hope I earn your subscription in the future, or maybe today, and I hope to see you soon on the next MasterBok show. Peace out.